Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Duplex Built to Rent, man. I got a couple of updates here on this 106 Runnels property that we got going on here, man. We've got some awesome updates. Here's the thing where we're at. We're already dried in, so now what we want is the MEPs, right? What are the MEPs? We're talking about the mechanical, the electrical, and the plumbing. These are the next guys that have to go into the structure now that all this stuff is done. So right now we have the electrician and the plumber actually in there doing work, trying to get some stuff done. So as you can probably imagine, the red lines are going to be for the hot water. The blue lines are going to be for the cold water. This stuff is here so that they can just insulate the water lines that are up against the wall, because in Texas sometimes it does freeze, and in the attic as well. So that's why they're doing that. Here we got the toilets, and we got the vents. And then we're going to be going straight all the way up to the attic. I'm sorry, all the way up to the roof. So these guys are in there working right now trying to get that done. Let me show you another quick video. Give me a second. And I'll show you another quick video here. What else we got going on here at this 106 Reynolds property. So here we are. We're going in. Sorry, guys. It's just jumping through all that stuff. All right, so now at this point, the plumber is completely done. So the video that I just showed you right now was yesterday's. This is today's. We are sitting there waiting for the inspector to show up to come take a look at everything else. And so this stuff you don't really need to know about. Again, remember, you're using a master plumber to get this stuff done. He's the one taking care of all this stuff. He's the one that's pulling permits. He's the one that actually has to stand inspections, okay? So because of that, you're going to pick up some of the information as you go and you start seeing it, but you don't necessarily need to know that he has to do this, right? You're just orchestrating the team, but in effect, the plumber himself is actually the one that's the expert trying to take care of this. So you see these little metal plates that go on there, that's his responsibility. The inspector is going to double check that, make sure that that's there. There's some there as well. And the reason for that is so that the sheetrock guys, traditionally it's always going to be the sheetrock guys, they're the ones who accidentally drill holes into it, but if you have a metal plate, it's going to instantly stop it and you won't be able to drill through it. So that's the purpose of that. One of the other things that I wanted to point out here is going to be this here. You see where the vents are. So we're the kitchen sink here, and we just made a hole into the roof. Not the end of the world, but that's normally what happens, okay? So what they do is, in order for the water to vent through, so you have the water, this is just the vent. There's no actual water that's going through there. Whenever they do that, they have to go through the roof. So now we have to call the roofer back out to double check and make sure that the roof jacks are put in. He doesn't put the roof jacks on because there's no vents to put on until the plumber's done his portion, okay? So it's kind of like a tandem thing there. So the roofer does his job and then he has to come back and finish it off. So this is the water line for the refrigerator. You see the red lines up there. I'm just giving you guys a few updates real quick. I'm going kind of fast, but this is the utility room. Again, this is the wastewater. This little U or J shaped or U shaped, whatever you want to call it here, this is going to be the P trap. So for some of you guys who don't, this is your first time into new construction, just kind of want to point it out to you guys here. The way this works is basically there's going to be water here. You see where these two lines are right there? So there's always water here in this bottom part. And what that does is prevents any of the smells and odors coming from the wastewater lines coming this way into this way. So there's always going to be a little bit of water in there, and that water that blocks it prevents any smells from coming up this way. Same thing happens in your kitchen sink, in your bathroom sinks, and the toilet, and all this other stuff in the tubs and everything else like that. You always have this U-shaped P-trap, it's called, and it always holds a little bit of water there. So basically gravity just pushes the water down. All the excess water goes down towards the drain, but there's always a little bit of water that's left there, preventing any of the smells from continuing to come up out of the pipe. So there's a red line and the blue line, red for hot, blue for cold. And then one of the things that we're doing here is going to be this. We're doing the tub inserts. It's just going to be faster. We don't have to pay for the tile. One of the things that the inspector comes and checks out is that to make sure that the tub is actually holding water inside. So they plug it up to make sure that the wastewater lines are holding water. So I'm going from one unit to the other unit, going through the walls there. Now we're going to the hall bathroom on the other side. And see, this is what I wanted to show you guys here. One of the things that you want to explain to your plumber guys, you have to explain it to them because they don't traditionally know this information. Well, They do know this information, but it's something that I like to reiterate just as a point of reference and also like good business practice. So we have the wastewater line here. You see this one that's coming up this way, and we have another it's wastewater vent. It's not an actual wastewater, because what happens is, like, water that comes in through, I mean, no water is going to go up like this. It all goes down. So these are vents. Okay. So the way it, just like I was just explaining to you, is that the water, when it gets vented, goes through the sink and goes out this way. There's going to be a little bit of water left here, but the air that allows the wastewater to go down without pressurizing it. So think of a gallon of milk, right? Or a gallon of water. If you just have a full gallon of water and you flip it upside down, it's gonna go and it's gonna be like going down slow. But if you were to flip it and you were to punch a hole on top, then the water flows easily faster down because of that vent now that you put in the top. So if you punch a hole on the top of a gallon of water, it no longer does that suction thing, because any of the of that suctioning would be used up by the air on top. So that's the purpose of it. Okay. And so what I'm trying to explain to you guys here is that in order to eliminate or minimize the number of holes that we put in the roof, right? Less holes in the roof, the better. We want the plumber to connect as many of these pipes as possible, so that way we still have vent, but at the same time we can connect two lines. Instead of making two holes in the roof, we're only making one, because they connect right there. So hopefully that makes sense to you. If it doesn't, I'll try to explain it in a diagram differently. So just let me know and I'll go through that. Now, I made a huge mistake, and I don't mind sharing my mistakes with you guys. This is going to be one of the first ones that we're doing. Yes, exactly. You see that window right there? This is going to be one of the very first times that I'm doing the inserts, because I just got tired of dealing with the walls. And the reason why I got tired of dealing with the walls is because the guys always mess up the tubs, man. They always step on them. They always mess them up. And it's always a problem for me. And I can't stand it, because I'm later on trying to figure out how to fix the tubs, because they stand on them with their shoes or boots or whatever it is, and they always crack them, scratch them, mess them up. And I'm just tired of it. I'm just tired of it, because I have to pay extra money. And so I told the plumber, I said, you know what, just bring me the inserts and we'll just do that. Well, he brought the inserts and he's like, hey, bro, what are we going to do about these windows? So I was like, oh my God, the windows. I forgot to eliminate the windows. So now I have to, after the fact, eliminate these windows. So we're going to have to go from the outside in and eliminate those windows. But that's not the only problem that we have here at this particular one. We're going to figure this out, guys. It's not a big deal, but I'm going to show you another issue that we had here at this duplex that we're going to have to address and figure out here in a little bit. So in here, you see the lines, the clean water lines are insulated there as well. It's looking good. We have the inserts in, so we're going to put them in, and we'll fix the wall a little bit later. See that? So we have to figure out what we're going to do with that wall, with that window. I have to get rid of them. I'm just going to get rid of them. But we're now going to have to do it from the outside in and then put the insulation on. I know, it's crazy. All right. So that's it for the video there, guys. It's pretty much finished up. Got a bug here. And then this is what I wanted to show you here as well, is the platform for the water heater. So whenever you're doing the platform for the water heater, you want to make sure that you have plenty of bracing. Again, this is something that the master plumber knows how to do and should know how to do. You don't need to direct him on it. Ask him about it. Say, hey, where's the water heater going to be going, and you're looking around to make sure that he's selected an area where you have plenty of support, because that 40-gallon, 50-gallon water heaters gets very heavy. So that's something that that thing needs to have plenty of support for. All right, guys, those are all the updates. Oh, actually, you know what? I have one more video that I want to show you guys, because we have another problem with this particular property. This is the same property I had, guys, earlier that I was showing you guys, where the foundation guy was like fighting me about the survey being off, this, that, and the other. Now check this out. That foundation guy is no longer going to be working for us, and we've had to figure out something else out. But here's a challenge that we just figured out. So we did not pass the inspection on the right hand side. Now this is the exact same unit, and what I did was I take videos as we go, mostly because I want to show you guys what we're doing. But you see how the wastewater is connected here at the bottom? All right. So we have the lines. What happens is we have to do two tests. Okay, the plumber does, not you. The plumber has to pass two tests. He has to pass one test here at this stage here before we do the foundation, before we do the cables, before we do the concrete. He's got to pass the inspection to make sure that this plumbing can hold water. Okay, and we passed this inspection. Not a big deal. The problem is that the foundation guys, the guys that are no longer going to work with me because they wanted to fight me about, being several inches off from where it needed to be, even though we have all this extra space over here. Okay. What they did when they're using their machine, they cracked. I don't know which one of these pipes. Okay. It was either the tub one, the toilet one, or the sink one here, or maybe it was the one right here where it turns. I don't know. We have to use a camera to scope it because what's happening is that the plumbers have to pass a second inspection. The second inspection is at the stage we're at right now, right? So the stage where we are right here. So let me show you back where we are again here in this bathroom. For some crazy reason, this tub or whatever the case is not holding water anymore. It's like the water is draining out from underneath it somewhere, and we're trying to figure it out. And the challenge that we have is that, like, where's the problem? Where are we losing the water? Why is there a crack in the pipe somewhere? So now it's the same inspection at a different stage in the game, okay, which is to ensure that all the wastewater can hold water. But why is that even important? Why is that even an issue? Because I'm telling you, before, when I was doing a bunch of fix and flips, and I've done over like 200 of them before, man, like I'm telling you, we've done foundation repairs, and I'm telling you, out of like the 40 something houses that we've had to do foundation repairs on, probably 38 of them had something to do with the wastewater, the pipes underneath the water. They were cracked. And so what happens in a sink or in a tub like this, right, is that all this wastewater just slowly drips out underneath, slowly drips out underneath. And so all the ground underneath it just becomes very, very moist and very soft and very just has a lot of water. And so what happens is that it becomes very, very soft. And the weight of the sheetrock, the weight of the tub, the weight of the roof, the weight of the insulation and the walls and the furniture and everything else like that here eventually start causing a break in the foundation at some point, and it starts breaking the concrete, starts breaking the sheetrock, starts breaking stuff because there's no sufficient support. And it's from wastewater getting out, dripping, maybe even a little bit at a time somewhere in the property. And so now we have to go in there with a camera and try to figure it out, break concrete, and try to address this problem. Because if we don't address this problem now, we know for a fact it's going to be an issue later. And the inspector did not pass us because he's like, dude, this thing is not holding water. You have a break somewhere. So now we have to figure out where we have a breakage. And it's probably going to be somewhere in here, I think. Somewhere right here. Somewhere in this little area right there, we have a break. And we have to find it. We have to break concrete. We have to repair it. We have to pass the inspection. Once we've passed the inspection, then we'll pour new concrete in that little area that we had to break with a jackhammer, and then just try to, fix it back up to where it's going to be. It's going to be fine. But I'm glad that we found this out now. Now, I'll tell you something. The fact that the foundation guys probably clipped the pipe and didn't say anything about it, that pisses me off. And that's what bothers me. That's the situation, and that's why we're not working with that guy anymore, because we've had problems like this before in the past. Similar type stuff, but the thing is that, like, you really have to get someone on your team that is going to be, completely transparent and say, hey, look, we made a mistake. We accidentally clipped one of the pipes. Send the plumber back out. We'll pay for it, whatever the case is. It's not a big... Look, when the pipes are exposed like this, it's probably like a $50, $100 repair. But now that everything's been covered up with concrete, look at how deep this guy's got to go. The foundation is at least 12 inches deep, and this is going to be about 16 inches deep. He's got to jackhammer into this thing and clip it and hit it, and hopefully, got to be really, really careful not to hit a cable. and fix the issue, and then try to get this thing repaired and back in order so we can pass an inspection and get this thing done. Hey guys, but that's really, I'm just being transparent with you guys. This type of stuff happens. It's not the end of the world. It's not going to break our budget. It's not going to, make this whole thing fail completely, but it is part of, the process. And you just troubleshoot these things, right? The plumber's like asking me, hey, who's going to pay for this repair? Is it going to be the concrete guy? Is it going to be you? I'm like, that concrete guy is long gone. And so just let me know what it's going to cost, and we can talk about it. But the fact that it has to be fixed, it has to be fixed because we cannot pass the inspection. And without passing this particular inspection, we can't keep moving forward with the project. The good thing is it's not going to be something ridiculously stupid like, $5,000 or something like that. It's probably going to be, I don't know, maybe $1,000 or something like that. But not a big deal. Rather get it done now than have to deal with the humongous problem later, or then get in trouble with the city because we never got it fixed. All right, guys, that's all the other things I got for you guys today on this 106 Runnels property. Thanks so much for watching. I'll talk to you soon.